So, what inspired? Because this is such a random topic to end up on. How in the
Yeah.
heck, out of all the options that are out there of weird food combos and culture and stuff like that, how did you end up in like the western side of the Midwest learning about cinnamon rolls and chili?
Right. It's kind of a weird topic, but
We
it
love
was during lockdown and I was looking for story ideas. People weren't traveling, so I was trying to look for ideas that still took me to another place, but through something like food. And I found these stories on the pairing of cinnamon rolls and chili, which I thought was kind of gross. So
it.
I was like, why would you pair these? So I looked into it and it
Fair
seemed like there
question.
was like a lot of background. And I pitched it to my editor and I never heard anything. So I just kind of forgot about it. And then when things opened back up again, I went on a trip to Wyoming and we were sitting at dinner one night and one of the girls was from Cheyenne and she's like, have you guys ever had cinnamon rolls and chili? And another guy who had grown up, I think in Pittsburgh, but he was living in Washington, almost spit out his drink. And he's like, that is the most disgusting thing I'd ever heard. And I said, I pitched that story. I've heard of this and I had never tried it. And so I went back to my editor and I told him that there's this very heated debate and some people love it and some people hate it. And so he gave me the assignment.
If you ever want a barbecue one, that's a divisive one. Fat cap up or down on a brisket. That'll make people angry. That'll trigger somebody.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway, sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to throw you into the brisket realm. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Um, so the editor's like, let's go for it. If it's that heated, let's see what you come up with. Now, have you ever been tasked with an article and then they say, this sucks? I ain't doing it.
No, thankfully. I've always been able to kind of find a good angle. There was an article that I did for Atlas Obscura on a dish that was supposed to be was a fish in China that I was in China and I had this fish and there was a story that an assassin had hidden a dagger inside the fish and that was kind of the history. And when I pitched it, that's how I pitched it. But when I dug into it, it was actually a different fish that they put the dagger in, but I was still able to kind of talk about this specific dish and then
They're
talk about the history of the assassin. So it worked out.